All right, welcome to a new day. Today is day number 81, Monday, July 22nd. Riley and I have left our campsite at the Boiling Springs campground, and we're walking into Boiling Springs. This is a lake that they have kind of at the center of town, and that's like the main street up there, and there's the trail literally goes along this gravel path here. And it is late. It's like after 10 o'clock. It wasn't, when I first looked at the time this morning, before I started getting ready, it was already like 9:38, and I was definitely later than I expected. But the sky is all clouded over, so that's encouraging for a not too hot day today, hopefully. And Riley's just sniffing everything in sight. So anyway, so this is Boiling Springs. It's a nice, pretty town. They don't have many services. They don't have like a grocery store that's within easy walking distance. But I have plenty of food on me. I don't really have any need to buy food. There is a convenience store. It's always tempting to go check that out and see if they have like an ice cream tub. Like, what are you doing, Riley? Why are you doing this? You're just being yourself, I know. And I'm just being myself. I'm getting annoyed because we're not walking. We should be walking, and it's already late. But you don't care, and that's totally understandable. I know you don't care. You're being yourself. You're enjoying the town. Good for you. Good for you. So lots of ducks over there. And I see that lady is controlling her dog here. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and we'll check in later. Hey, Riley. All right, so I couldn't resist. We're still in Boiling Springs, and we walked down to the convenience store at the gas station, and they were selling these tubs of ice cream for $5.99. So I got another chocolate moosetracks. This is the highest calorie count per serving of any of the Hershey's flavors. So I like chocolate and I like vanilla, and in terms of calorie count, it's the best value. So I'm gonna dig in again. I'm not gonna try to eat more than this at this point, but yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy this here. All right, well, today is not going according to plan at all. I have finished the ice cream. I started at like 11:18, and I finished a short while ago. I wasn't trying to get a perfectly accurate time or anything, but basically the post office was open from 9 to 12, and then it closes from 12 to 1, and then it opens up again at 1. And I wasn't able to finish by 12. I would have had to really rush. So I just used the hour from 12 to 1 and was able to finish. And it's like 12:55 now, so I'm gonna pack things up and head over to the post office, and then we're actually gonna start our day hiking. I bought 2 hot dogs for Riley. Hot dogs with buns, and he ate both hot dogs and both buns. So he's got some food in his belly, and he's just been enjoying the rest here and wagging his tail at people that come and go. All right, so yeah, we're gonna get started with the day here. All right, so we have finally left the town of Boiling Springs, and it is raining, as you can see. But it's a nice rain. It's just cooling us off. It's warm enough that we don't feel cold. I don't feel cold, so I'm not bothering with putting our rain gear on. It's not going to last all day, and when it stops, it'll help keep us cool when it eventually warms up later today. So Riley and I left the convenience store after I finished my ice cream. And by the way, I do recognize the irony of when Riley stops on the side of the trail to do something he wants to do. I'm often fine with it. I don't always like get annoyed with him, but it's definitely happened in the videos where he'll stop on the side of the trail and I'll express my annoyance that he's not moving, and it is what it is. So I do recognize the irony that when I want to stop to get ice cream, even though I don't need ice cream because I had ice cream like 2 days ago at the Pine Grove General Store, and I had plenty of food in the pack. When I want to stop, I just stop. And I don't get annoyed with myself for stopping. But when Riley wants to stop, I do get annoyed sometimes. So that doesn't seem fair. All right. Yeah, so I definitely recognize that is like a power dynamic where I have more control over when to stop and when not to stop. And of course that's the way it should be, because I have the ability to get us food and I know where we need to get to. So, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that I do recognize that irony, that when I want to stop, it's okay, and when he wants to stop, it's only okay if I say it's okay. So anyway, so the ice cream was good. It's always better. The first half is always better than the second half. I started to get full again, but I didn't get quite as full as I got at the Pine Grove General Store. I think if I had wanted to, I definitely could have eaten another pint to make it a full half gallon, but it wouldn't have been a pint that I would have enjoyed. It would have just been a forced pint. Just to be able to say that I ate the full half gallon. And I don't feel like there's any point in doing that. There's only a point for me if you're actually gonna enjoy the ice cream. So the rain is tapering. The rain is tapering off here. We are hiking through, like I said yesterday, we are hiking through the stretch of trail that is known as the Cumberland Valley. So there's lots of farms here. This is like a 17-mile stretch going back to the end of the day yesterday, and it's about a 14-mile stretch north of Boiling Springs. And I didn't quite realize this when I was hiking through this in 2018, but this stretch is just known to be very flat, easy hiking. And so far, ever since we've left the main road in Boiling Springs and got back on the trail, that has been the case. It's just been very, very nice terrain, very easy hiking. The only difficulties are when Riley stops and doesn't, and wants, he's not stopping because he needs a break. He's just stopping because there's stuff that he wants to sniff and stuff. And he's not doing it too frequently, but obviously when he does this, then that prevents me from hiking forward. but he's not doing it for too long. We're able to continue forward. You ready, Riley? Anyway, so we got to the post office, and I was expecting 2 packages. One I ordered from GoPro, which was 2 additional batteries for my GoPro camera, along with a charger for where you can charge 2 batteries at a single time. That package came, and then the second package I was expecting was from Anchor, a company called Anchor, and I ordered a power bank from them, and that package did not arrive. And so I was able to check the status using my data plan, since I had cell service there, and apparently there was a delay in the shipment of that package due to some weather issue on July 17th, which was 5 days ago. And the new estimated delivery date for that package is like end of day tomorrow. So that was an unexpected surprise, but of course there's always like, the only reason it was a surprise is because I'm accustomed to, deliveries just working seamlessly for the most part, which they often do. But this was just an exception. And the package is being shipped via FedEx, not via United States Postal Service. So that makes things more complicated. I was able to speak to the manager in the post office, and she took my name down and my phone number, and she knows to look out for the package when it arrives tomorrow. And she is going to, she's first going to ask FedEx if they can just forward it to the Port Clinton post office, where I expect to be in about a week's time. But if not, I'm not going to allow Riley to eat grass here. He doesn't need to eat grass. We need to keep moving. But if they won't just forward it at her request, then what they'll need to do is they'll need to accept delivery of it, and then they'll need to forward it via their own shipping methods, which of course they have shipping methods. They are United States Postal Service. Riley, I'm sorry, no grass eating. No grass eating. Come on, buddy. But that's gonna incur like a double fee for me. Like if it was shipped via USPS initially, then it would be fairly simple. But because it was shipped via a non-USPS carrier, when it arrives, they incur a fee to accept the package, and then they'll incur another fee to ship the package. And then I'll just have to pay, like, I'm guessing it'll be like $20 or so when I pick the package up in Port Clinton. For the GoPro batteries, those were shipped via UPS, and so they charged me like $8.95 as a delivery acceptance fee, which that was new to me. I was not aware of that previously. So what I've learned is that when I'm in the future, if I need to ship packages to myself to be picked up at a post office, that I should see if there's an option on the company website to ship it via United States Postal Service to avoid those extra fees. Man, Riley is just stopping so much. This is getting annoying. It's annoying me. Riley, I can stop for ice cream whenever I want, but when you stop, it's only okay if I say it's okay. So I feel bad that it annoys me, but I'm just being honest. It annoys me. I feel like it just annoys me because he stops so frequently. And I try to, and it's not a big deal, but like I just have the urge to keep moving. And now you're stopping again, Riley. Come on, let's go, buddy. Okay, so that's an update for the day. We finally got moving again. It was almost like 2 o'clock before we finally started hiking out of Boiling Springs. And I was originally planning to try to get up and get some food before the post office opened at 9 a.m. so we could start our hiking day shortly after 9. So that's 5 hours after my original plans. So that's all my fault for getting up too late. But at least we got the extra rest this morning. So Riley, we gotta keep hiking, man. I'm trying to keep hiking because we got off to such a late start that we have lots of miles to catch up on before the light runs out. So, but on the good side, the train should be very easy today. It's just that we need to keep moving. So we'll check in later. Okay, bye for now. So Riley and I are continuing across the Cumberland Valley stretch. We just crossed a road called Old Stonehouse Road, and there is a small cemetery on our right that we're passing by. And Riley is treating this like he treats a campsite, like he wants to go in there. He does this with campsites sometimes, like he wants to go into the campsite even though it's not time for us to stop. And you're doing the same thing, but I'm going to continue on, and Riley is going to follow me. So we took one break earlier because I needed the break because my shoulders were getting tired from carrying the pack. The pack was starting to feel heavy, so I took a break, took the pack off, let my shoulders rest out. And then when I was ready to continue on, the pack felt my shoulders felt better, and the pack didn't feel as heavy on me. Even though, of course, it was the same weight. It's just that my shoulders had a chance to rest up and felt a little bit stronger. Also, I didn't mention anything about our sleeping experience last night at the backpackers campground just south of Boiling Springs. So Riley and I did have the whole place to ourselves, but the main thing we had to deal with was just the trains going by. There were at least 4 trains that went by throughout the course of the night and into the morning while we were still trying to sleep. And in the middle of the night, Riley and I were sound asleep, and then the train would come by, and it would I remember being in a state of confusion for a little while because I forgot which side the trains were passing on. And I remember hearing the sound of the train on one side of the tent and being surprised because I thought that the train tracks were on the other side. But that was just me being a little disoriented from being asleep. And yeah, those trains were quite loud. Each one of them that passed was probably, it seemed like it was at least over a minute for each train to pass, maybe even 2 minutes. They were long trains, and they were very loud, but the most important thing is that they stayed on the tracks and they didn't hit us, and eventually they passed, and Riley and I were able to get back to sleep. Riley didn't seem too bothered by them. He was definitely aware that they were going by, but he wasn't barking and he didn't try to bolt through the tent or anything, so that was good. And we shouldn't have to deal with them anymore. It was just a one night experience. There certainly might be other times where we hear trains when we're on the trail, but nothing to that extent. That was just extremely, extremely loud, very disrupting to the sleep. I think a lot of other people would have been completely horrified by the experience, given that they were so loud. But for me, for Riley and I feel like we're pretty flexible with our sleep, and as long as we have a dry place that is relatively comfortable, a little sound isn't gonna upset us too much. So we were able to get through it without much difficulty. This rain here is definitely, it's kind of just like tapered off to a light drizzle, so it's just doing a nice job of keeping us cool. It's a nice welcome change. The terrain is a nice welcome change for today, and also the rain is just a welcome change from like, we're not feeling hot. I'm not feeling hot. My shirt's damp, so it's keeping me cool. And Riley's just continuing to pull off to the side and wanting to smell the various smells that he smells. Smell the various scents that he smells, I guess. But it's not delaying us too much. He's testing my patience here. If he tries to go beyond the grass into the foliage there, I am going to have to say, put up a hard no and tell him that is not acceptable. I feel like I'm being very patient here. All right, so now he's chewing grass. So this is testing my patience here, because grass is not the best thing for you, Riley. It causes you to throw up, it slows us down, and you could just chew grass like all afternoon, and that wouldn't be good. So I'm going to say, let's go, Riley, and we're gonna go. All right, so we'll check in later. The rain seems to have picked up, and this is a pretty busy highway that we're crossing over. I think this highway leads into Carlisle, Pennsylvania. I think so. Where, like Carlisle, Pennsylvania that way, to our left. Just gotta make sure there's no cars behind us. And where the hell does the AT continue from here? I see a white blaze back that way. I assume we just gotta keep following the road up here. My guidebook tells me that Carlisle, Pennsylvania is a town that's very popular for car shows, I believe. I think they have car shows like every weekend or so. And apparently, according to the guidebook, hotel prices go up whenever there's a car show. Anyway, so there's lots of road crossings today. Yep, and there's the sign for backpackers crossing, so we must still be on the trail. The rain, it was tapering off, but it's continuing to be a drizzle, and it seems like it's picked up. All right, let's get over here, Riley. Over here, over here. More backpacker signs behind us, so we must still be on the trail. I think there's a white blaze up there. I don't really know. Not very well marked here. Riley, we're not going in there, buddy. Come on. I kind of remember that house from last time. It's got a star there. I make it to the fence in 2.8 seconds. Can you? Pitbull, okay. Thinking about breaking into my house, all you will be taking is okay. Yeah, I think I remember that star. It's like a Dallas Cowboy star on that house. Looks like there might be some hikers. I see. So double white blaze here, so the trail continues over here. Okay. So I misspoke earlier. The last bridge that we crossed over was not over the road that leads into Carlisle. Instead, it's this bridge. I did have some doubt in my mind, even though I said it, the road led into Carlisle, but I am 99.9% sure that this bridge is the one that goes over the road that goes into Carlisle. There's no reason for me to be making such a big deal. Such a big deal about this. We're not stopping in Carlisle. If we wanted to stop in Carlisle, we'd have to like walk. We'd have to take a side trail down there. Riley, what's up, man? Why are you doing that? What do you want, man? Riley, what do you want? What are you doing? Come on, buddy. Yeah, anyway, it's just nice to know where I'm at. So this is, for anyone that wants to go into Carlisle, I think that's a side trail that gets you down to the road. But, all right, at least we know where we're at now. So I think we've done about 8 miles on the day, and we have about a little more than 6 miles to go to the next shelter, which is called Darlington Shelter. So I think we're in a good position to get there by the end of the day today, and possibly go further and find a tent site beyond the shelter. And it's all thanks to the pleasant terrain. We've been able to hike relatively fast, definitely faster than usual, because we haven't had to navigate many steep uphills or many challenging rocks. And the temperature has been super nice as well, so be thankful for it while it lasts. Riley, hey, Riley, yo, Riley, hey you, Riley, Riley is looking every which way but towards me. Riley, look at me, man. Dude. Hey, you. Riley, come on, man. Riley. The camera would like to say hello to you, Riley. Say Riley. 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 Look, Riley. There you go, Riley. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. All right, so Riley and I are taking a break now. The rain has just been persistent ever since. It wasn't raining when we left Boiling Springs. Actually, when I was eating the ice cream at the picnic table outside the convenience store, it did start raining, but we were under a shelter, so we were able to keep dry. And then it stopped raining, and it got kind of warm while we went into the post office. And then, but then shortly after we left Boiling Springs and started our hike in earnest, it started to rain pretty heavily. And then it kind of tapered off. And then it's just kind of continued to get a little bit stronger. And it's just a solid rain that's persisted throughout the day for the most part. And I was, we haven't needed to take breaks because of the heat, but this is our third break of the day, and I've been wanting to take breaks myself just because my pack has been feeling kind of heavy. So it's nice to rest my shoulders. But I've been hesitant to, I don't necessarily want to take a break like if it's raining and we're just sitting in the rain. Especially because I want to check my guidebook and figure out where we are. And then if we're in the rain, then my guidebook's just going to get soaked when I pull it out. So the trail, or we're on the trail right now. We crossed over this bridge, and then the white blazes said we should take a U-turn and come down here, and then now we're crossing underneath the bridge. So this seemed like the perfect place to take a break. We have shelter over ahead. We're in a dry spot. It's raining, but we can stay here as long as we want, and we're dry here, so this is perfect for us. So I got my guidebook out. I'm gonna put my camera on top of my head, and we'll check out where we are here. My guidebook is falling apart. It's falling apart, Riley. So even though we got off to a super late start today, like around 2 p.m. and I guess you could say we wasted the morning, it wasn't a total waste because we did get extra rest, and I was able to eat a whole tub of ice cream, which has helped me to not feel hungry at all so far since we've been hiking. So I haven't felt the need to eat anything since we started. And Riley got 2 hot dogs, so I'm sure he'll be ready to eat when I'm ready to feed him next. But I'm sure the 2 hot dogs helped him to satiate some of his hunger. Yeah, so the extra rest and the extra food has definitely helped us to, I mean, along with just the pleasant terrain and the cool temperatures, all those combined have helped us to just kind of hike fast today. So we started the day at 11, this is according to the AWOL guide. This mileage is going to be lower than what I've been quoting for the Far Out app. But according to the AWOL guide, we started at 11:21.2, and we've passed over I-81 on Bernheisel Road. Here we go. The AT U-turns, passes under bridge, and heads north. So this is exactly where we are right now. We're underneath the bridge. So this is at 11:31.9. So that means we've done 10.7 so far in the day. And we still have another 4 miles until Darlington Shelter. So it's going to continue to the terrain is going to continue to stay mostly flat, but we will have an uphill leading into Darlington Shelter. But at least we know we're 4 miles away, and the next landmark is in 1.1 miles. At Sherwood Drive, and there's going to be a parking lot, and then 9/10 of a mile after that there's going to be a tunnel, PA 944, and then we'll be 2 miles from the shelter. Cool. So we've done, yeah, again, we've done 10.7 on the day so far. So when we get to the shelter, which is 4 miles from here, we'll have done 14.7. All right, what do you think about that, Mr. Riley? What do you think? Are you happy with 14.7 miles, Mr. Riley? Has the rain been bothering you today, Riley? Do you prefer the rain or the heat, Riley? I'm just in a joking mood right now because I'm happy that we're able to take a break in a dry spot and give my shoulders some rest. And I think I'll use this opportunity to give Riley some food. I have before leaving our tent today, I put this mixture together in one peanut butter jar. This is Riley's freeze-dried food, and I added water to it so that it could soak while we were hiking. And then in this pocket, I have some dry food, and so I can mix these together and give Riley some food. I like the idea of cold soaking Riley's freeze-dried food so that it can, like while I'm hiking, so that it can soak up more fully, it can hydrate more fully, and then it's, I don't have to wait when I'm ready to feed it to him. I don't have to wait for the, like any time at all, for the freeze-dried food to hydrate. Yes, Riley, I bet you're gonna eat this. All right, so I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna put it in his bowl, and then I might show him eating it in a little bit. Riley is so patient. You're such a good boy, Riley. Okay, so we're almost ready. So I've mixed up Riley's freeze-dried food, which is nice and hydrated. I can, like, this is an example of there's chunks of meat in here, and I'm stirring it up with my finger, and I can press down on the chunks of meat and I can feel that they're soft, which means that they've hydrated very nicely throughout the course of the day while I was hiking. And then I've mixed in Riley's dry food and trying to let that soak up a little bit, and it seems to be pretty well mixed now. This is Riley's placemat. I'm gonna let Riley lick my finger here. Yes. Riley is so patient while I get his food ready. He knows, I can tell he knows that it's getting ready because I see him looking over, and yeah, he definitely knows that something's coming. I know, almost. I'm gonna lay this out here. This is like the perfect combination of just weather here. Just a warm temperature mixed with rain to keep you cool. It's such a nice change from just being hot all day long. Such a nice change. All right, so Riley's gonna demolish this food here, and I'm just gonna hold the bowl so that it stays in one place. And as its food splatters, I will put it back in his bowl for him. So exciting watching Riley eat his food. He's doing a very good job of not splattering food outside the bowl. Usually when Riley gets close to finishing, there's these carrot chunks that sometimes prove difficult for him to finish up. Like a lot of times they'll kind of stick around in the bowl, and he'll lick it multiple times to get it up, but for some reason they tend to like just stick to the bowl, even though Riley does his best to get everything. Now I try to help him out just by moving stuff over from the sides to the center. Okay, so Riley's done a pretty good job of getting everything. Just a few things left. There you go, Riley. All right. So I'd say that's a successful completion there. He's gonna give it a few more licks. Ah, there's one more piece here. There you go, Riley. Good boy, Riley. Good boy. Okay. All right, that's all the excitement for now. We have 4 more miles to get to the shelter, and then depending on what time it is, we'll see what we want to do after that. I do know there is a campsite a little bit beyond the shelter that we could try to get to if it's still light out. So, and this is all the graffiti underneath the bridge. Kit Kat was here. Very nice. It just feels nice to sit down. We've been hiking fast today, much faster than usual. So yeah, it feels very nice to just take a break after all the walking we've been doing. All right, we'll check in later. By the way, I didn't mention that this water source here in front of us that the bridge goes over is called, it's a creek, and the name is difficult to pronounce. I'm going to do my best here. It's Conodogwene Creek. Conodogwene, or Conodogwinet Creek. Yep, that's the name of the creek. All right, so the day is winding down, and Riley and I are approaching Darlington Shelter. I'm still tempted to go a little bit further because I think there's a campsite less than a mile beyond the shelter, assuming we're able to get there relatively soon. The rain has tapered off. It's not nearly as strong as it was when we were taking a break under the bridge. It's really just a light pitter-patter that you can hear on the leaves now, so that's good. If we need to, when we get ready to set up our tent, it'll be nice that it's not raining hard. We're doing a climb here, which means we're getting out of the Cumberland Valley. We passed under a road and had to go through a short tunnel a while back, and when we did that, we were 2 miles away from the side trail to the shelter, and that was a while back, so pretty sure we're pretty close. Riley is being a dog right now, which makes sense because Riley is a dog. I am a human. I have no desire to do what Riley's doing right now. Riley is a dog. Riley, are you aware that we are losing the daylight and we need to get to our campsite so that we can both go to sleep tonight comfortably? Are you aware? Are you at all concerned? Okay. Continuing on here. Anyway, so that's the update. We are approaching Darlington Shelter. I hope we get there soon. When we get there, I'm going to check my Far Out app and just confirm exactly how much further we might have to go to get to the tent site, and whether it makes sense to continue on or just to stay in the shelter area. So that's the update for now. We'll check in later. So we still haven't made it to the shelter. It's just a little bit since I turned the camera off last, but we came upon this unexpected bench made out of rocks here, and a nice view spot here. Very nice. Nice surprise. That is not something that I remember from my 2018 hike. So we have come to a junction here. We came from that direction, and there's all these signs here. So this says Tuscarora Trail this way, and I think this is like the end of the Tuscarora Trail northbound. The Tuscarora Trail is something that I actually was considering hiking, and it's still on my radar to hike. It starts in the south, somewhere in Shenandoah National Park, and it ends right here. So it connects both on the south end and the north end with the Appalachian Trail, and I believe it goes like 270 miles or so, maybe close to 300 miles. And it was actually created I think before the Appalachian Trail was designated a National Scenic Trail, and it was created because I think the Appalachian Trail Conference or Conservancy was concerned that certain parts of the Appalachian Trail were going to be lost due to various land issues, and so they had created this trail to basically replace the segment of trail that currently exists if certain parts of the trail were lost due to the land issues. But that turned out to not be the case, so that the Tuscarora Trail lives on as its own separate trail, and it just connects from one part of the trail to another part of the trail. Anyway, so that's the Blue Blaze Trail that way, and this says Darlington Trail this way. It looks like that's yellow blazed, and then this says Appalachian Trail south that way, Darlington Shelter this way. There's nothing that says 18 north. Riley is plopping down. Hey Riley, we got it. We can't stay here. Come on. So I'm assuming this is 18 north right here, hopefully, and that the next 12 miles are maintained by the Mountain Club of Maryland. Okay, yeah. So this is still the AT. Here's a white blaze, and we're just approaching Darlington Shelter. Okay, that makes sense. We'll check in later.